Okay, this is the next phase, and it's what we do is we find all the methods which are applicable by subtyping. Okay, so what we do is we examine each of those potentially applicable methods that we found, and we look at the type of each of the arguments. And if each parameter in the core is a subtype of the corresponding argument in the declaration, then the method is applicable by subtyping. And if the declaration has a variable arity argument at the end of type T, then it's considered to be of type T-array for this test. Okay, so here's an example to illustrate that. Public class Q here, and what we do is do a new of Q and call test like that. So it calls this here, and there's our method M that we're interested in, and there are two possible versions down here. Now if we look at the first one, these are both potentially applicable, and if we look at the first one, we're passing 1 there, and 1 is an int, and int is not a subtype of integer, so that rules that method out. If we look at this, int is a subtype of long. If you remember the old diagram of primitive types, it is in fact a subtype, so you can widen the thing to long without any problem. And this down here is treated as an int array, so it will take that. So a method which is applicable by subtyping, there's only one of them, and it's this one here. And you'll note that's a variable arity method, doesn't matter. You can have that can end up having preference over that, as we'll see later, because it's treated as for this test, it's treated as an array. Now, if you end up with lots of methods that are applicable by subtyping, and that's possible, you go to this other phase at the end, phase 5, from on out. And if you haven't got any at all, that's alright, you just go to the next phase. And if you find there's only one method that's applicable by subtyping, well then you found the method, or at least the method signature. The actual method that gets run at runtime, of course, might be different because it might be overridden. Okay, but that's a runtime consideration. You found the basic method that it's going to go for. Found the signature, right? And that's what you do.